This club's about winning trophies. I'm inexperienced in a lot of those things.
3-0. Sorry for smiling there.
Almost lost the cup and you win it. The new European champions, the treble, the dream come true for you.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell. But they never give in. And that's the winner.
Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we're bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
Woo, sir. How we doing? Manchester United 2. Liverpool, a.k.a. the Scouse Bastards 2. United. Ooh, good result. Bad performance, especially in the first half. United in the first half just absolutely peppered by the Scousers. They got one. They probably should have gotten at least three. Onana made a couple big saves, and they made a couple big misses. And then the second half, United gifted a lifeline that Bruno Fernandes took great advantage of with a great strike to tie up the game. And then Kobe with a worldie, a curler that felt like Makeda, except we didn't hold, as we wouldn't. Gave away another soft penalty. AWB, what a shame, because he had a pretty good game otherwise. But United steal a point, I think, is the fair thing. And the most important thing is fuck Liverpool, dead to their title hopes. And that's the most important thing about today, because this season's a dead duck for United at this point. How are we feeling? How are we doing?
No, I literally think that is like up 2-1 late in the second half. I'm thinking we're going to lose 3-2. So, with Chelsea in recent memory, I'm coming out of this one like we could overanalyze this game all day, but after that Chelsea result, I just felt like Liverpool were going to find a winner in like stoppage time, and the fact we held for the point, it literally screws their title hopes, is a huge positive. United grasping at straws. We're up, we're down, we're all around. We have individual brilliance. We got no midfield. We're just all over the shop. But you know what? Like 2-2, it's Old Trafford. The lads fought in the second half. The crowd was up for it. And Jurgen Klopp is leaving.
Humble guy.
Leaving pissed off, and the Scouse Bastards, if we could dent their title hopes, that's all we need. And I think we did in good fashion. It's going to be interesting running in that title. But I'd like to see that we held on to get a point.
No, totally. And I think the most frustrating thing, and there's a lot of things to be frustrated about at the moment as being a Manchester United fan, what would it have been like if we saw 2 second halves for United instead of that first half, where, to be fair, we were lucky to only go in 1-0 down. But this has been a really difficult season for all United fans. We see some shit football, some frustration. We look like we're at the end of the rope for another manager, and there's still a lot of players that we need to turn over and sell in the summer or decide what to do with. But there's these little glimmers, right? There's these kids, these youngsters that continue to break through. Hoyland, Garnacho, Kobe Mainoo with an unbelievable goal, and Kambwala played very well, it must be said. He had a nice performance, all things considered. We were peppered, but he did play well. So, like, the youth breaking out and then just, like, fucking with Liverpool. I mean, I guess they kicked them out of the FA Cup and took 4 points off of them. So I'll take it. I'm just looking for any positives I can find at this point, sir.
Yeah, I mean, glass half empty is Liverpool should have put us to the sword if they had any clinicality, as you famously coined on this podcast. I mean, Nunez is an absolute joke. Also, Gapco as well. Those guys are total losers. Thank God we haven't missed out on Darwin Nunez. But this isn't Liverpool from a couple years ago. They don't have Sadio Mane, Diaz, kind of bluff slot, gave the ball away, missed some big chances. That's just literally Liverpool missing big chances. The XG is over 4. They come away with 2 and almost lost. At the end of the day, like, we saw them when we were across the pond, and I said, this team ain't going to do it. They just don't have the gears. They don't have the players. And I think Klopp sees the writing on the wall, which is why he's leaving. And you know what? That just makes me feel so, so good as a United fan, because we've been looking for that manager to bring us to the promised land, and thank God Klopp ain't staying for another decade, and he's getting gone. So let's just enjoy this one today. 2 big points, 1 big point, 2 goals, hurt our rivals. And you know what? Let's just live another day as a United fan. I feel like that's all we can do is, like, now I'm just as nervous about Bournemouth away as I was for Liverpool at home. Welcome to United in 23-24.
I think I'm more nervous about Bournemouth. I mean, Bournemouth cooked us. Like you said, they cooked us 3-0 at home earlier in the season. It was a dreadful performance and a season of dreadful performances. And it's going to be a tough opponent, but like some reason we show up at some point and, to be honest, they gave us a lifeline. Like you mentioned, we should have been out of the game by the first half. They created more XG than the 7-1 or the 7-0. So, hey, on to the next one. This season, we're almost at the end. There's 7 games left. I don't think we're catching Villa or Spurs, even if we started hitting some form, because now the gap is 11 points. I mean, that feels insurmountable, especially given how poor United's been. So, we got a semifinal with a team that we should be beating, and we have a decent run out where we should pick up some points, but it feels like it's all about the next wave, like about the next change, the next cycle, right? Because we're kind of at the end of this cycle, and we're going to have a lot of big changes coming with a new manager, more than likely, new front office, new CEO, new technical director, new director of football, and a lot of new players probably in and out. So that's what I'm looking forward to, sir. This season's been rough on you and me and every other United fan watching around the world.
Quick PSA for the podcast. If you like listening to this pod during this tough season, oh my God, -1 goal differential, please save me. Can we make it positive against Bournemouth? Let's go. You can support us. Check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/America Red Devils. We do a behind-the-scenes episode every single month. Tons of other great benefits. Join the creme de la creme of the American Red Devil community and sign up at our Patreon page. Also, if Patreon is not your thing, check out our store, AmericanRedDevils.store. Scarves, stickers, shirts, hats, beanies, everything in between. You can grab it there, AmericanRedDevils.store. And also, we have some great fan blog content for you Muppets that can't get enough of the pod, AmericanRedDevils.com. And, sir, they can subscribe, help us out on the socials. It's just you and me. So there's not a lot going on here other than us just chattering on the couch. How else can they help?
Another great way to help support the American Red Devil pod is write reviews. Write 5-star reviews wherever you listen. But if you write a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify and send a screenshot of that review to americandevils@gmail.com, I will pick, pack, and ship some free ARD merch. Send it right to your door anywhere in the world. Here's a great one from Vad Header, the best and most fun analysis of the Manchester United situation on and off the field. Here's the skinny. There's quite a few Manchester United podcasts, but these guys have the best banter. They pop them out the fastest, and to be honest, they actually have the most sound analysis of the entire situation at Manchester United on and off the pitch. Appreciate what you two do. Glory, glory, Man United. Thank you for the great review, and thank you for everybody who supports the pod. Sir, let's get into it.
We are talking Manchester United 2, Liverpool 2, the Scouse Bastards at Old Trafford in the league. Let's get into that lineup. Onana in net, Delo, Kambwala, Magoo, Wan-Bissaka back line, Casemiro, Mainu midfield, Bruno in the hole, Rashford on the left, Garnacho on the right, and Højlund up top. The worldie Anthony dropped by the manager. How are we feeling about this starting 11?
No big shockers here. We know the central defense has a lot of injuries, so we've been hearing that the only people available are Kambwala and Maguire. So there they are. Our 2 fullbacks are available, and then basically the team picks itself. You're not starting Anthony, and I want to see more Money Mount, but you could see why he picked Casemiro because we'd be doing a lot of defending today. So any thoughts of this 11 when you saw it, sir?
I'd like to see Mason Mount. That's really it. Rashford didn't really play well against Chelsea. He gets the start. I just feel like the accountability on the starts hasn't really flowed through with the manager, and it's just kind of a bit of mashed potatoes. And, we did see a mashed potatoes start. You want to walk through that first half? Yeah,
let's get into it. United were dreadful in this first half. Lucky to go in the half, only 1 down. We did have a really good early chance. Second minute, Garnacho scored a nice one-on-one against the keeper, but he was off. And then basically after that, it was all Liverpool. 3rd minute, Onana made a great save right after the Garnacho offsides. And then 18th minute, the Hungarian on Liverpool, whose name I cannot pronounce, and I'm not even going to try to. He blasted it wide. He had a bunch of big chances in the first half. He should have had at least 1 goal. But good teams find a way to score, sir. 23rd minute from a corner comes the Scousers.
And Nunez, and it's Diaz turning, sweeping and scoring.
So a flick on from a corner. We've seen this before with United. There's never, no one on the back post is ever as attentive or on their front feet as they need to be. To be fair, like, you know, of all the chances they had, they scored off one of their, like, maybe lower XG chances, but United go down and deserve to go down at this point.
Flick on header, Diaz unmarked. Again, United just, we can go forward, we can punish the team, but we're so open in the midfield on the counter and so vulnerable. Like the odd man breaks that we saw for Liverpool, and then obviously you get down to the set piece defending, and you get a goal like this. Just like stewing. I was stewing on this one. 33rd minute, United with another bad giveaway, but Onana, great save on Salah. I mean, we were just kind of coming up with these last-ditch efforts. Like you said, Kambala and Magoo did well, but the type of defending they were doing is not the type that you want to be seeing. 36th minute, another great chance for Salah, blasted wide again. It should, like you said, they could have scored 2 or 3 in the first half. And then Onana, another big save in the 46th minute. We went in by the hair on our chin, down 1-0 with no shots, no XG. Liverpool just dragging us through it at our house. This combined with the way we ended against Chelsea, just it hurts as a United fan, because ultimately you want to see the team with a point to prove. You want to see a team playing together. You want to see a team with a plan. You want to see it. Brave players who can take hold of the ball, take hold of the game. Like, we didn't see any of that in the first half, and that's why the alarm bells for me were just ring-a-ding-ding.
100%, especially like we weren't fighting 50-50. They were outworking us. You know, it's one thing to like get outplayed, give the ball away. We didn't look up for it, and we looked a little bit more up for it in the second half. But the only thing that gave me hope was like this game should be done and dusted, and we still have a sniff at it, and that. You know how football goes, man. It's like sometimes if you don't take chances, it flips the other way. And we've seen that in prior seasons when we actually were better. But, like, that's the football gods. It's like you got to kill somebody. Otherwise, they can come back from the dead. Let's get in the second half. Better from United in the second half, but not really until Bruno got his goal in the 50th minute. And in the 50th minute, what a goal from our Portuguese Magnifico.
And that's careless from the youngster, and Kelleher was off his line, and Manchester United are back on terms in the most unlikely of fashions.
Bruno picks off a wayward pass from the young defender on Liverpool and does very well. It was like Cavani-esque when he scored a goal like that, I believe, when we were on lockdown during COVID. But this kind of speaks to what you said, sir. It's like a lot of times United's been bailed out from individual brilliance because, like, Bruno's got a shit ton to do, beats the goalie. It just hits the corner. Great goal, but this kind of lit a fire under us, even though, you know, got a little bit of luck and took advantage of that luck.
Great strike from Bruno, switched on. You know, I would say, you know, it hasn't been his best season. And the fact that he was able to grab this game by the scruff of his neck and then like hit, I actually thought this actually missed live. I was like refusing to believe it went in. Because it hit the side netting or something. I was like, and there was a goal. I was like, oh my God, we're back in. It's 1-1. Like exactly what the doctor ordered for United, Old Trafford in full voice. I felt like this, we had nothing. And then all of a sudden you get that spark, like that Antony goal in the FA Cup quarters. And then boom, we're a different team. And that's just like what kills me is we can't start that in the first half. But hey, I'll take it because at the end of the day, I'm thinking, hey, Scouse Bastards, we clipped their wings. That's the title for them. And all this game is about. It's about not letting them get that title, and so this was huge.
It was huge, and also it was like something about United, and maybe United and Liverpool. Like this thing, same thing happened when we scored in the corridors. It kind of shook them, and they were shook for a minute after we scored this goal because United, we woke up and they were kind of on the back foot. So 54th minute, great chance for United after Rashford puts in a curler, begging for somebody to be at the far post. I feel like when Højlund was in form, he would have been there. 63rd minute, great first time chance for Bruno in the box. Delo found him really well over the top, but he just kind of whiffed at it. Should have done a little bit better. And then in the 66th minute, Anthony came on for the injured Rashford. But the man who was going to make his moment, Kobe Mainu, young lad, reminiscent of Makeda, in the 67th minute.
Wan-Bissaka, Mainu! A career-defining moment, perhaps, for 18-year-old Kobe Mainu.
The best part of that story is fired up Klopp, just like mad as hell. You know, set of teeth too big for the size of his mouth. Great goal from Kobe Mainu. Gets it on the back foot, curler. This is the goal I didn't think was going in. I was like, no way that turns. I thought it was going wide, like a beautiful shot. But, goddamn, why can't we hold on to a lead? This would have been a great winner, and they would have fucking been so bitter. And they probably are bitter anyway. You know.
No, I mean, what a finish. Exactly like the Anthony goal. Got it in the same spot. Defenders on him, like there's nothing doing there, and then a worldie of a finish on the right boot. This curled in, like the exact same position, different shot, but it's the same goal.
It is.
Like there's like the XG from there is nothing.
Nothing.
Right? Back to goal, 2 defenders, and then to turn and hit that is unbelievable. Kobe Mainu, I mean, this kid. The highlight of the season for me, obviously, I think Garnacho's really built upon his debut last year, but like Kobe breaking through. I mean, what a player to hit this goal at Old Trafford. First goal in the league at home. Let's go, Kobe. You love to see it.
You really do. What a highlight that was for the day. United trying to hold on to a lead. 79th minute. Amrabat came on for Garnacho, trying to lock things up. That didn't work. Amrabat, I don't know why he didn't go. I thought McSauce was the defensive midfield at this point, so I was shocked.
McSauce is injured. He was injured. He was not in the squad. Yeah.
There you go. That's why you didn't see him. 79th minute. Salah did have a big chance, an actual chance, not this phony penalty we'll talk about in a second. But he blasts over. He should have scored there because that was a great chance.
Let's get into the penalty here.
84th minute, sir. Hold on, let me get some run up.
Harvey Elliott, it's a penalty.
Oh, this is really clumsy. This is panic from Wan-Bissaka. Absolute madness. He's completely panicked and just thrown himself and given an excuse to Elliott. Oh, dear.
Trailing to your greatest rivals. And time fast running out. It's Salah, and it is 2 apiece at Old Trafford.
Sir, you know, we can talk about whether it's a penalty or whether it's not a penalty, but what United falls in the same trap is like putting themselves in a position where they can have a penalty called against them like we did against Chelsea. So it's like, I think, when I saw this, I was like, oh, it's a pen. And then I saw the photos online, and he doesn't even touch him. He dives. And we can't be giving it away. You know, simple as that. It's like they had their chances earlier, but the refs are going to call bad calls. This is the EPL. The refs are not good. And if you give them a chance like that, you can't put in a diving slider and not get the ball. So there's only one decision he's going to make probably at the end of the day, especially with Liverpool playing. You know how much they love to give pens to Liverpool.
Here's the deal. I feel bad for people that want to slow down penalties on the internet from like specific angles and then be like, this is not a penalty. Like, look, here's the deal. He goes to ground in the box in the 84th minute, up 1. And yeah, he goes through the man. Like he's going to get a piece of him. It's a matter of when. And like at the end of the day, you can slow anything down, overanalyze any piece. But it's just like the Delo. He got cooked. He leaned on him, put his body on him. The ref, if he points to the spot, no matter what the replay says, they're not going to overturn it. Just imagine if VAR didn't exist, sir. It's just like when the ref calls the pen, you've seen that a million times. Like if you dive like that in the box at his legs and you don't get the ball, the ref will point the spot every time. That is the game you're playing. Like that's just the way it is. You can't go to ground. You can't go to ground. Just like the low did, just like AWB did. And you know what? You get a pen. You get a pen. You get a pen. You're playing against Manchester United. We're going to do stupid stuff all day and give away goals and give away points. We're ill-disciplined, poorly coached, poorly organized side. You know why we can't do it? It's because we can't protect the lead. We can't defend set pieces. We can't get a hold of the ball. We can't even play out the back. We're just all over the shop, bro. And that's just the way it is. And this is frustrating. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But you know what? I thought we would lose. I thought we would throw it all away. And the fact that we didn't, that's the whole reason why I'm pumped about today, is because this team is so bad, they should have given it away. And they almost did.
And we almost did. And I knew we'd get a chance. So Mount came on for Mainu right after the goal in the 84th minute. And then chance at the death for Anthony. Almost the same chance where the shot was taken as Ahmad's winner against Liverpool a couple of weeks ago. And that's it. Like you said, sir, 2-2. United steals a point. Could have had 3. But like you talk about, put in a position to make bad, rash errors and be fragile and give away penalties. It's like you're going to get punished, and we deserve to get punished.
I'm celebrating the fact. I mean, like, it is like I have to separate the two things of like the Scouse Bastards getting like their wings clipped at only 1 point. Now they're tied with Arsenal. They're behind on goal differential, and I knew it. We had a friend who's a Scouse Bastard. We went to the EFL final. I watched that final, and I told him, like, you guys do not have the squad to win the title. I said, you're not going to win it. Like, there's no way you're going to be able to finish against Arsenal and Chelsea. They have much deeper squads.
City.
They're playing much better. Exactly, yeah. And I knew they would fade. And they can't even come to Old Trafford and cook us. And we're there to be cooked. I mean, come on. Like, this is a bad Manchester United side. And Liverpool, they don't have the finishers. They don't have the people to score the goals. Listen, 4.5 XG to Liverpool to our 0.85. We had 0 in the first half. As far as field tilt, 74% of the touches in the final third went to Liverpool in our house. They had 62% of the ball. The X threat, even worse, sir. We were dominated. We were absolutely dominating our house. Yes, Bruno hit the amazing strike from nowhere. Yes, Mainu hit this worldy of a goal. Yes, we have individual talent and brilliance that can pull out these results. But, man, I don't know what other people are watching, because we are watching shitfootball.com and we are barely squeaking away with these results. It's joyless football for me. You can't watch that first half and be inspired to be a United fan. This season, this team, the way we're playing, man, it is brutal to watch. And I love pipping these results, but man, it's the same thing every time. And I'd be surprised if Bournemouth aren't hitting 20, 25 shots against us. And the fact that we are making adjustments, are fixing it, are coming out fired up after blowing the Chelsea game. I just don't know what is going on at Manchester United at the moment, and I just feel like the manager gaslighting the fans and the press just makes it worse.
What's going on is the same thing that's been going on for, 15 years, but really 5-6 years, it's gotten the worst. These players are going, they're not motivated. The coach is making mistakes, sure, and he's going to go, and he needs to go. But the players, dude, how could they not get up for a fucking Liverpool game at home? They come out and play like they did. They didn't even look like it. Looked just like it looked against Liverpool when we played under Ole, and I was there for 5-0, because they could have easily scored 3-4 goals in the first half and finish us off in the second. And it was because United just didn't show up. We didn't show up in the first half, and we got bailed out, like you said, based on their bad finishing. And Onana did make 2 big saves. And then a bit of luck, and it's both goals are individual brilliance. It's like last game we did beat them in the FA Cup. We scored some team goals. These were just pulled out of our fucking ear, like a magician. So it's not sustainable. We know what the problems are. The problems are everywhere. There's so much work to do. The amount of work that we need to do this summer and in the following 2, 3, 4 transfer windows. I mean, it's a full rebuild. Just like Old Trafford. Old Trafford will be built from the ground up, brand new, and in some ways, this squad, the front office is being rebuilt from the ground up, so everything else basically does as well.
It's a great metaphor that you need a new stadium, you need a new everything. 28 shots Liverpool hit, right, to our 9, 7 on target to our 5. Again, I feel like what's crazy about this United team, unlike any team I've ever watched. Ever in the 20 plus years I've been watching United play, I've never seen a team play worse and have results that should be celebrated. The FA Cup quarter, this game, it's the result today should be celebrated to this will be celebrated. We literally, hopefully, are the reason Liverpool don't win the league. And I hope that the math will show that this is a result to celebrate. but man, the way we were playing should not be celebrated. Like, I just need that. The way that we are playing right now, it just has to end in some way. And the way the new owners are dealing with everybody is Arnold out, Murtaugh out, everybody out. Like, that's the way it should be, And it's like, at the end of the day, like, I don't care about blaming Ten Hag or not blaming Ten Hag. Like, we are what your record is. We are -1 goal differential. We are getting cooked by every other team. And at the end of the day, I just need that style of football to go. And if the players need to go and Ten Hag stays, and then all of a sudden we don't play this way anymore, I'd be happy. If Ten Hag goes and the players stay and we don't play this anymore, I'd be happy. I just don't want to watch what I'm watching every week. That's it. Like, I don't really care. And I think there's arguments you can make across the entire spectrum, players, coach, etc. I just know it is horrible. Can't mark on set pieces. People wide open. We just conceded against Chelsea. We're just getting cooked every which way. It's so shit, and it's just like, I'm so sick of it, and it's just brutal. It's been a brutal watch all year, and I think seeing this game, just the first half, really just all the frustrations in the first half.
It's about survival now. It's just about surviving the season, getting through it. United fans, we've been through a lot over the last decade, and this season's been as bad as it gets, and I think everybody is over it, wants the season to be over, wants to put a fucking fork in it. And, it's early April. We've got, another 6 weeks of the season. We're almost there. 7 games left in the EPL. I can see it in your face, sir. I can see it in your face. Like I said, you call
I'm done.
The U.S.
I'm
presidency analogy.
done.
Like, if you become a president of the United States, you age 40 years and 4. It's like this season, Ten Hag looks like he's 80 now. Just fucking old as shit. He looks... And we need a change, bro. So you're going to see that manager change. They ain't going to put up with this. They're playing coy, right? Even they had the heavies this week. They have
but it's not about only Ten Hag. That's what I'm trying to get.
No, it's everything needs to be fixed, bro.
Everyone wants to make everyone wants to gaslight everyone and make it about the manager. It's not about the manager. It's about people trying to shine up this shit football that we're playing to try to protect. I'm just saying. People who are trying to say injuries or this or that are the reasons why we should be playing this shit. And then there's people being like, this is shit. And everyone's arguing about it. But we should just be like, we need to play better football. It's not about protecting people or making excuses. It's literally about Manchester United playing the game in a way which is not just generally depressing and frustrating to watch all the time. And I feel like right now it's 2-2, great result, but oh my God, I could do without watching this team because they get a lead, they literally gift it back. I literally can't even watch the last 10 minutes of this game because I just don't even know what to think. I've never even been in this place as a fan before. It's absolutely insane. Do you not feel that way?
And every chance,
I can't get up. I can't trust these guys. I can't cheer them on because I'm literally they are lurking to just blow this thing, and I just can't get up for nothing because I can't trust them. And what am I watching? They can't pass the ball. They can't play out the back. They're not getting better. They're not fixing anything. It's just. It's so ridiculous, and I'd never thought football could drive me this nuts, but this team is putting me on the brink. And anyone holding on to manager in, manager out is totally lying to themselves because this team and this way we're playing is literally just it's gonna kill me, sir. This team is so bad for your health. It's watching them every week.
You nailed something, which is don't expect much, bro. I expected us to drop points against Chelsea and blow that lead and blow points. We did. I expected us to, even given a lifeline, blow 2 points today when we could have proper stole 3, and that would have been hilarious. And we had a chance to win to the death, and Anthony put out this tepid shot where he could have won it. So it's funny. It's even how bad we play, we somehow, like you said, we're overperforming, and we also get chances to win these games at the death. We had a chance to win the game at the death at Anfield, sir. It got hold all game, and then McTominay had a chance on the free header at the 90th minute. So I'm with you. This season's been too much, bro. It's United just continues to let us down. I agree. It's it's not just with the coach. It's probably coaching, players, front office.
It's the whole organization.
It's everything, bro.
It's the whole organization. It's like
Old Trafford. Old Trafford is the perfect encapsulation of what's wrong with this team and this club. Is everything's been kind of neglected, poorly invested. We put the wrong money in the wrong places and giving it to the wrong decision makers. and it's just kind of gotten stagnant and it's rotting, bro. It's like this team is rotting, and we're seeing it on the pitch because we could easily be in 10th. Easily.
Yes, and the one thing my major criticism of Eric Ten Hag that I'll just come to it is it's like it's not the shit football. It's the fact that he's lying to us in the press and saying that it ain't shit. Like, that's the only thing I got to say about it is he should be saying, we got to get better. We got to fix the midfield. We got to stop conceding shots. He should be saying exactly what we are seeing. But the fact that he's saying we're playing great, we're doing like that is the only thing I really have to criticize the manager is he should be calling it way more straight, because I feel like if he's calling it straight, there's nothing to hide from. And then that's a guy that you can get behind ultimately who can fix it, right? I feel like excuses and saying it isn't what it is, that is what drives me nuts. And speaking of that, sir, let's listen to the manager. Let's just listen to those excuses.
Let's hear what he's got to say.
Half time, what changed in the second half? Think about that.
I think only details. And I think the most important was that we, in decisive moments, first half, and we lost the duels and our decision making. In the half spaces, we were not quick enough thinking. And we encouraged the team in halftime that you have to win those duels because it will be decisive. The moment you win those duels, especially if you can make a change to the far side half space, and then you have greater overload on the backline, and you will create. And first half already was this the case, so we didn't take advantage from it. But second half we did, and we needed the moment in the game to punish a mistake of Liverpool, but that got us back in the game.
Could you just talk us through the performances of Kambuala and also Kobe Mainoo with his goal? We're used to him playing well now, but that goal was excellent. But you put a young lad right in the middle of your defence today.
Yeah, first to that goal was a very good team goal. It was actually also a goal from out of the game plan. So very proud that the team could transfer this in the way we did, to get the ball into the far side half space and then get the switch, and then that finish was brilliant. I think everyone has seen. And then the decision is all soldiers die, and then new has to come in, and really already long time is training with us. He also started the game against West Ham United, where he did also very good, but his progress amazing, I would say.
Put some shine on the youngster's name. Very little excuses to be made. I want to go back to the point you made, sir. I agree. It's like with the problem with a coach who gaslights his fans is like it's kind of an insult to fans, especially at United, and fans know their shit. Most people have been watching for a long, long time. They've been mentioning United fans for a long, long time, and they know good football, they know bad football, and they know something in between. And they know this is shit football. That's fine. You could have shit football as part of a transition. It's just like I think you have to stand behind it and be like, we were not good. We were shit. We were shit today for this amount of time. And then we got back in, which he kind of said, but he can't own it. And he wasn't as gaslighty as he sometimes is, but that pisses fans off because it's kind of like they're just it's like your dad, a parent lying to you. It's like the guy, he's a fucking manager of Manchester United. Don't lie to us. Lie to everybody else, but don't tell us we were great when we know we weren't great. And
tell us this isn't plan A. Tell us this isn't what we're trying to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell us this
something,
and we want to play better. Tell us something. And I just feel like you get the 1,000-yard stare. I'm like, oh, we're doing great. It's like that is concerning. But at the end of the day, United is what United is, and that is -1 goal differential, 12 losses, a record-breaking, horrible European Champions League campaign, and a season where 5th will do it for you, and we're 11 points off the mark. And that's where we are. You got to look hard in the mirror and be like, we got a next match, sir. Let's get into it. Bournemouth, the Cherries. First Manchester United Vitality Stadium, the South Coast, Saturday, April 13th, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. I'll take that kickoff. 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Games 1 versus the Cherries, 14 drawn, 3 lost, 4. First time we played them, 1949. We beat them 6-0 in the FA Cup. Last 5, we have won 3, lost 2, but that last loss They cooked us. Solanke Co. 3-0 at home at Old Trafford. Clearly, these players are going to show up because they are pissed about losing.
No, they won't.
By 3 at home. Any player would be upset or thinking of that. There's got to be bulletin board material of Solanke celebrating. Like, that game, I feel like, is one that we do not talk about because there's worse. Like, in any other season, that would be like a game where it would sting. That one is just like amongst a few.
I think that was the worst of the season. I think that's arguably the worst result and performance. We were fucking awful in that game.
There's too many. The problem is there's too many.
That's in the top 3 at least. That's really in the top 3.
I mean, Wolves was bad. Both Wolves were bad, even though we won and got away with it. Then you got the Fulham that we saw in person. There's a lot, dude. And then you go through the whole
I know, but they blew us out by like 2-3 XG, bro.
There's too many this year, honestly. That's really the problem. Bournemouth coming in. Luton cooked them 2-1 yesterday, so I hope that's a sign of things to come. They did beat Crystal Palace. They beat Everton. They did beat Luton as well, and they drew Sheffield United. So, Bournemouth, they're not doing too great, but they are on
they went on a little run. They're 12th.
Little run. They're 12th, and which means they're right around where we are.
Yeah, they're like our level. They're all like 40-something points. Yeah. So, do we know who they're going to be? If we don't show up, they're going to beat us. If we show up, we'll win because we have a much better squad. We have much better players. Play the Kamwala, bro. He's ready to play. That kid's a player. And I thought Magoo showed some real leadership today. I thought like him, John, and fucking Diaz. Like I like that. That was good to see. So if we show up, if we go through the motions, they'll cook us at home, bro. They'll be like laughing, South Coast barbecue. So I hope we show up, but I don't think we're going to show up because I think this team is just sleepwalking to the end of the season.
Look, and playing at Bournemouth is not an easy place to go. It's a long trip, and they are going to be up for it. And if they cooked us at home, I mean, that's all you got to know. They're playing the 4-2-3-1. Solanke, like I mentioned, up top. Cook in midfield. Neto in net, sir. I'm not afraid of Bournemouth. I'm afraid of Manchester United.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Like if we play well, we'll win. If we don't even play well, if we just show up and actually work hard, which we didn't do until like the 50th minute today, we could win. But this team is Jekyll and Hyde, sir. As I said on BBC today, it's like you have no idea. We've been mostly shit, but even still, like you have no idea who's going to show up from this United team this season. It's been your guess is as good as mine. And if we're good for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
I think we're just all Jekyll.
Yeah, all Jekyll. Here we go.
All Jekyll.
No Hyde.
Jekyll SC.
No Hyde.
Jekyll
I need some more Hyde in my life.
Physio room. Luke Shaw. I think he still plays for Manchester United. Martinez out. Lindelof out. Malacia is missing. If anyone's seen anyone,
does Martial ever
call.
get a minute? Does he get one more minute before his career ends at United, or is that it?
Honestly, I hope so.
So do I.
Where it went wrong for Martial was Manchester United not selling him when they could. I have fond memories of him. Like when things were good, we had some decent spells. He's just like everyone else at Manchester United, not consistent, right? Hit 20 goals one season, then take a season off. We saw Rashford hit a few last season. He's taking a season off. That's just kind of the way everybody is. Johnny Evans out. Varane out. McTominay out. Given those injuries, what is your lineup, sir? The manager doesn't change it that frequently, so I'm sure we know who's going to start.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. Onana, it's going to say back four. Onana, Delo, Maguire, Kambuala, AWB, which actually played pretty well. And then it's going to be Mount. I want Mount. Come on. Casemiro, you gotta drop Casemiro. Damn, what a drop-off he had, bro. He was so good last year, and he's so not good this year. Mount, Kobe, Bruno, Rashford, Højlund, Garnacho, sir. What do you got?
I would argue if you don't play Mount, why did you sign Mason Mount?
Because he also looked good when he came on.
You signed Mason Mount when you already had Bruno, and the only way that you're going to pay that money for a player is that he starts in your team. So either Bruno's going to sit or you're going to play Mount and Bruno together. Now Mount's healthy. Why are we not playing Manu, Bruno, and Mount? So then why did we buy Mason Mount? That's what I don't understand. And that is a very valid question because he's not just some signing on a free. That was like a marquee signing last summer, and now he's healthy and we're not playing him and Bruno on a team. Like, that was the whole point of signing him.
He's
it makes no
come back to
sense.
fitness. He's come back. So let's see. This is now
This
he
is
should
like
be
an
fit.
odd level of like, dude, he should be back. Like, if you're coming back from fitness, the manager plays you, then he plays you more minutes, right? Mount's not getting chunky minutes, dude. He's getting like some like bit part minutes. It's like he's back enough. The manager should be playing him more to get him healthy.
Because all his
I don't
boys
know
have
what
played.
the fuck we're doing.
All of his boys have played probably too much, right? And like Mount deserves minutes.
I'll tell you, another really bad habit of the manager is just like leans on players and doesn't get other people involved and get them minutes to get them back in fitness. There's no reason Mount isn't doing 30, 40 minutes today, knowing that he's going to start against Bournemouth. I don't understand it. It's bizarre. Like I said, if you sign him, you have to play him with Bruno, and we have to see that look. We're not. So we're just going to go with the same run it back 11. Onana, Dalot, Kambala, Magoo, Wan-Bissaka, Casemiro, Mainu, Fernandes. Rashford's not great, but he'll play anyway. Hoyland up top and Garnacho on the right, sir. That's what we're going to get.
What's amazing is, like, it'd be one thing if Casemiro was playing like Casemiro was playing last year, but like Casemiro looks like a different player. It looks like he's playing in a different league, different sport. So he's got to play him. It's a great chance to play. It's one play. It's like, okay, we're going to be a CDM or a more defensively sound midfielder in theory against the Liverpool. You're playing Bournemouth. You should be on the front foot, but we might lose it with the 11, bro.
I got a 3D chess question for you because ultimately I'm reading the tea leaves on this one. Is Erik ten Hag not playing? Like, so say if he was safe and he knew he was going to be safe, would he be more comfortable playing like the Mainu, Mount, Bruno midfield, knowing that they might need time to gel to basically get that going before next season? Because the Casemiro seems like a scared move. If you got Mount on the bench, it's like almost like you're trying to play safer with the 2-man. You don't maybe trust Mainu in that spot. I don't like it's something like in between. Like it's almost like today's screen for Mount to come in and like not making that move because you knew Cass was going to mail it in and be shit, and he was. And maybe Mount gives you that energy from the jump. First start back really from injury. He's Liverpool. Maybe he mixes it up. Right? Maybe he makes a difference off the jump. I felt like we're dying for something like that, and I don't know why we're going to the sad old, unfit, unmotivated, Saudi-bound Casemiro. I just feel like it's just a weird one for me.
It's 100% that. It's 100% he does not think he's going to have a job next year unless he performs. And that's probably fucking him worse because he's digging in and he's playing the same guys. And like, I love McSauce, bro. And he's actually endeared himself even more this season with all the goals he scored. But like, he's played McSauce more than he should have instead of playing Eriksen or playing Eriksen over Casemiro. He's played Anthony more than he should. Even after Ahmad scored the fucking winner, still can't get minutes. And then the Mount one, that should be the future. Should be like, hey, listen, Kobe emerged as this guy. He's going to be starting. And Bruno, no one's a better 10 than Bruno. And Mount can press. He can fucking go forward. He can sit back. Like, he could play 8. Why not? So, like, this is going to be the midfield next year. We have changes to do in defense, change in attack. But I want to play this even if we could seed. So I think you're right, sir. I think it's like he's basically like, I am playing week to week, and I'm just playing for loyalty and to not get blown. I don't know, not get blown out, not get exposed. Well, it's happening anyway.
It goes to Ineos. Maybe Ineos not communicating with him, so then he's playing more conservative. That might be hurting the team long term. This whole decision or like this whole situation, it's like that's why it's not just about Ten Hag, because if he's not getting a clear sign from Ineos, then he's kind of playing like puckered up a little bit, and then we're seeing these kind of weird 11s, and we're not playing well. And if we could experiment with an Ahmad or Mount or kind of be a little braver, what are we playing for right now? We're 11 points behind. We need to find a spark. We need something. And I just feel like it's a little bit survival football at the moment. Could be holding United back. But let's jump into the news.
Let's jump into the news, sir.
United in the news. Speaking of conspiracies and just general fan BS, the whole 116, 115, 117, I forget how many charges we have
115 or 105 or something like that.
So if like, first of all, we all knew like it's basically like the EPL goes after Everton, they like deduct the 10 points and they make it 6. Like, again, that shows you that they don't know what they're doing.
Right. What was that about?
At all.
Same season.
Like, by the way, when you're like a commissioner or you're running a league, even I know you got to just stand by whatever you drop. Like, this like has to be the thing. It's just like, this is it. Freak everyone out. that is, hey, Everton sucks to be you, right? But someone's got to be like, even if you're in a classroom, like, or you're even your work professionally, examples are made and other people listen up, right? That's just how life generally is. And Everton was made an example, and then like kind of like, oh, that's too harsh, kind of weird. But regardless, if Everton's charged 6 points for doing one thing, Nottingham Forest is charged as well. And then all these other charges kind of coming about. Chelsea could be charged, and then obviously City with these 115 charges hanging out. That surely means it's like, boom, City's relegated. Like literally just like they're relegated, automatic relegation, one season. Like if they're found guilty on 115 charges, it's like they're going to get
115.
They're going to get absolutely clapped back to like League One, like the championship. That's as far as you can go because you deduct 100 points. They're relegated. It's not like you can't get relegated down to the League One, right? So they're going to go to the championship. That would be my expectations based on what they decided to do. Now, clearly, Man City is a big commercial property for the EPL, and they don't want to do that because that would just injure the money train and injure the global appeal of the EPL, or at least that's what they think. And so how are they going to be able to say that City's guilty and then not kick them out of the league? And this is what came to is basically the Premier League, after thinking about how harsh the Everton deduction was, they're thinking of instating a luxury tax.
Luxury.
So you can just, it's like, so now you can just pay your way out of violations. And I wonder who would have thought of this. What sovereign rich oil nation state who has plenty of money to pay would be willing to pay exorbitant fines to not get relegated? I think we know, sir. I think we know. Abu Dhabi. Ever been there?
I have. And it's the same folks who spent tens of millions of dollars on lawyers just to basically like obstruct as much of an investigation from the FA, from UEFA around all of these charges. So the problem is this. The Premier League is the single greatest sporting product in the world, bro. It's the best product in the world. It's the best league. You go there, you watch a game.
It's number 2, unfortunately. Okay, it's number 2.
In this Muppet's head, okay, behind the cash cow.
I'm
NFL,
saying,
yes.
I'm saying, like, I think of it should be number 1.
No, NFL generates more
money.
But
NFL is doing more work. NFL has done smarter work commercially to be number 1 than the EPL should be number 1.
I was talking about
kind
products.
of run like a bunch of idiots.
No, it is definitely. Well, this is
that's what I'm saying.
It's run like a closed shop. The same. I mean, obviously NFL is to a certain extent because it's all the owners, but like even more so. And it's the same way with the refs are like so bad at EPL. They've gotten worse and worse. They're giving away the script, bro. It's like so obvious at this point that there's corruption. And now there's corruption in plain sight. And if you're gonna penalize Everton and Forest and then be like, psych, and then you guys can just pay us $100 million and like everything's fine, like it is so damaging. I don't think they realize how damaging this is for the league because it allows City to just keep the money train going and just dominate football in England and globally for more decades. It allows Saudis a green light to basically do the exact same thing, and then the next Saudis and
they already are. They are.
Right, they're already overspending.
Saudi Arabia,
right?
Throwing
money at fake
it's
contracts.
all like a fraud.
It's all fraud.
It's all fraud. It's all fraud.
It's bad for the league. It's all I'm saying is it's bad for the league. It hurts the league. I think City's dominance of the last decade has hurt the league. I think the league would be better off
absolutely
if City didn't just like fucking roll and then they'd be cheating the entire time. And you know what? I bet we find out they've been blood doping too, sir. But it's bad for the league. That's all I'm saying is like, and this is if they do this is a slap in the face to every Premier League fan who's not owned by a nation state.
They will do it. It's just like the analogy is Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball had the big sign stealing scandal when the Astros won the World Series, right? And they basically, instead of like coming down on them, the players like had to apologize. The organization apologized. The organization.
What?
This is how crazy. The organization apologized and didn't say for what. So they didn't admit that they cheated. But MLB made them apologize, and they swept the whole thing under the rug because apparently, like, I think a lot of teams were doing it. Basically, they were like kind of pushing the edge, and they didn't want to come down on one without. And then there's all these other teams that are caught up in this, and it make the sport look bad. And so, at the end of the day, I think baseball's hurting because they actually didn't crack down on it, right? I actually think like sunlight is the best disinfectant, and shine the light on people who do wrong, while in the short term might sound like a bad deal to money grubbing, corrupt people, over the long term, that is what will set this league right. Because like you said, Chelsea came in, Abramovich came in, bought Chelsea. The league hasn't been the same since. I think the culmination of City doing what they've done has then paved the way for Newcastle to do it, and then on and on and on. And at a certain point, they got to enforce financial fair play, or they got to change the rules, and they got to put everyone on even playing field. Because at the end of the day, like, this is bad for competition. This injures the league, and City are now like saying they made $800 million in revenue, and
I
then
know.
it's like crazy. It's
more than
literally
us. Like the
it's
guys,
literally like propaganda coming out of City, like lying about everything, and it's like they got to stop it, and they need to be slapped down. And if they don't, and I expect that they won't.
No,
Like,
they
I
won't.
expect 100% they will bottle this. It will literally be like everyone's paid off. I bet you the head of the EPL will be like paid under the table. Like, it's all bribery and corruption. Like, this whole thing is going to
It's
go
like
away.
FIFA, bro. It's like an English version of FIFA. You know?
Exactly.
It's like not any
Yes.
different. It's as corrupt as you would imagine. It's even worse than you think. You know.
Yes, and look, to my point about the NFL, I feel like the NFL is number one worldwide because of how they're playing games in other countries, how they're like they're just expanding the game and innovating. And EPL is not. They're sitting here in the same structure. They should be playing games in New York. They should be playing games in Germany. They should be playing games in other countries, adding 2 more games this season. I just feel like that's the future, and that's why there's talk of the Super League. That's why there's all these issues in the game. I just feel like they're not innovating. As someone who likes the old format, I understand people would get pissed off, but like, I have seen the success of the NFL doing all this, and it's like, I do think that's the future, whether you like it or not.
No, it's a good point, and I was just speaking more of like, I know NFL makes a lot more money, and I think you make a really good point, because the difference is NFL's trying to make the pie bigger, and I feel like FA is just trying to protect the slice size for certain clubs to make sure, like, if they bought a big slice, they get to keep a big slice and maybe even grow that slice. So, but I was thinking more of like like, I would rather sit down and watch a 2-hour game of any teams in the EPL. Because I just think the quality is quite high.
Of course.
But it is bad for the league. It is bad for the league. It is bad for English football. You don't want these fucking nation-state teams that have no fans and no one gives a shit. No one gives a shit about City, bro. If they win, no one will care. And it's bad, bro. It's like you'd rather have like Liverpool or Arsenal, teams that we hate, win because at least they have fans. There's no fans at City. But
imagine, like, I totally agree. But like, and I guess maybe I'll say, imagine if the EPL had the commercial engine that the NFL had. Like, if you're looking at America and all you do is play friendlies there, what are you doing?
I know.
Like, what are you doing? How is like St. Louis not the home of like an EPL team that plays there every year?
You see how many people were in Nashville for the fan
or
fest?
Something.
Nashville was
but like,
packed.
it's like, I just feel, and that's really, and also the fact that all these teams do these summer tours in the United States, and they play like nobodies. They don't take them seriously. I mean, obviously, we have turf fields too, so how can you really take it seriously? But at the end of the day, it's just like, I do feel like there's like if you're running that league and you're not thinking of like the United States being the place that you got to tap into, then and obviously we're the American Devils, a little biased here, sir. We're linked to more managers. I think we could save, Thiago Motta was the guy.
I think the poll is more interesting. I think
your
poll is actually more interesting because everyone
Italian manager no one's heard of isn't interesting.
They actually
38% win rate. This guy, like
you don't want him, bro. Come on, De Zerbi. There was also a De Zerbi. There was a
Bologna. He's the coach of Bologna FC.
You'd eat very well in Bologna, sir. I'll tell you that. They know how to cook. De Zerbi was also linked this week. I mean, they're throwing everybody's name in the hat.
He'd look good in red, bro. He would look good in black and red. He looks like a mean. I bet you he beats Ten Hag up in a street fight, bro. That's the type of guy. That's like, again, going to the Muppet take. Who wins in a street fight? That's who I want as my manager. Eric Ten Hag versus anybody.
Think about Fergie, bro. Even Fergie,
I'd cook Ten Hag on a street fight.
Yeah, so you give yourself too much credit.
That suit, that tight.
He's Dutch. Suit. He's got that long reach, bro. Those big old Dutch.
All
right. What about fan questions, sir?
There's also the shiny bald head. It's a big target. You can swing at.
Bald guys can be dirty.
I know.
Scrappy,
Bro. I'm just saying.
I'm
just saying. Like street fights. Okay. The poll I ran, I said, based on the results to date, should Ineos back Eric Ten Hag for another year? 59% say yes. 60% say yes, 40% say no. Hanging on to supporting the man. What is your take on the poll? What would your answer be here?
Like I said, not to big up us, but proud moment for the American Devils being on BBC this morning, sir. Shout out BBC. We listened to BBC back in the day, bro. We couldn't even get all the EPL games. But I said the same thing. I was like, you know, it hasn't been good enough. Last year, a lot of exciting things, style of play, players brought in. And this year has been like the exact opposite. So I think given how bad it's been this season and how many just issues there are on and off the field, I think it just makes sense to clear house. Like you said, you're going to bulldoze Old Trafford. It's going to make people upset. You got to do basically the same thing with everything else in Manchester United this year. So like you said, all the guys you mentioned, they're all fired. They're bringing in really smart people. And Erik ten Hag is not a bad manager. It's just that like he got caught up in the old United, the mess that's been around for 15 years. It's time to clean house. And unfortunately, I think he just has to be collateral damage in that. So it's like you get in, not a caretaker, but the same idea. Like a manager who will just, anyhow, I thought that was the best analogy you made a couple pods ago. It's like you just get in a guy who can like train him really hard, get him organized, find out who's not willing to play for any manager, even a caretaker manager, keep the guys who are willing to play for anybody, and then like turn over the squad a couple times, you know, be frisky in some random cups, and then bring in like a heavy or an emerging heavy. And that's what I would do. Because I just think like we need a fresh start. There's too much fucking bullshit and noise around the club right now. It's kind of, I think it's strangling us all. What's your take, sir?
Yeah, I think there's, for the way I think about it, it just comes down to, I think there's more risk staying with him than there is not. And I think for a manager, he should always be making the argument for why you should be keeping him, which means like he should be saying in the press, like, this is why we're playing this way. This is how we want to play. I'm hearing excuses. I'm hearing like we're dominating games. We're not dominating. You look at the Chelsea game. That's all you need to know. And if you like again, I'd sack Pochettino off the back of that game.
Oh yeah.
You know, like I'm not gonna like that guy. Like I hope Chelsea keeps that guy.
Honestly, so do I.
They can't defend. They can't attack. They can't do shit. And you know what I saw? United can't do shit either, dude.
Right.
We're on the same level. We're 10th place in this league. We got £1 billion in this team. You know what? He spent 400 million of it. I don't think it went well. The Mason Mount signing, like he made big calls. The problem with Erik ten Hag is like the real big calls. It's not fair. It's been a really rough United. There's a lot of problems with United, and those problems aren't his problems, but he has made some big calls, and he has gotten a good portion of those wrong. And this year has gone wrong, and I think he's coaching himself out of a job. It's ultimately going to be his decision, because if we finish playing like this and we can't figure it out, like I think there's some big games coming up. If we can see improvement or a turnaround against Bournemouth, we've been saying this shit since January.
We won't though. You know we won't.
So that's what I'm saying. So if we're going to keep just like getting cooked and the players don't care and like this and that, like the players got to go, he's got to go, Murtaugh had to go, Arnold got to go, and the stadium's got to go. Everybody's got to go. And I think that's the theme at United. It's not like a personal anti-manager view. It's just I think it's such a mess. Everyone's got to go. And there's a lot of finger pointing on the way out the door, and it's messy. But, you know, I think Ineos should just be like, all right, I think we just got to reset everything. Think about it. New training ground, new stadium, new CEO, new technical director, new director of football, new coach, new training staff, new everything, dude. That is literally it. And I said that, I think, months ago. Burn it all to the ground and build it anew. And I'm sorry, Erik ten Hag, he happens to be part of the shit show that is United, and he doesn't deserve all the blame. But I think even staunch defenders of him have to say, like, it's not going great. It's like going about as well as Pochettino at Chelsea, and I don't think that is saving anybody's job.
No, but we're in the minority. You know, this is N is high enough that this is a decent representation of at least our fan base. So we are in the minority. I think the only reason I'm trying to think about like why they'd want to avoid doing it.
It sucks. It sucks. You like the guy, dude. You want it to go well.
We don't want him to fail, bro. Like, I don't want to fire another manager. I like have some like, dude, I just don't want to fire another manager.
You love the bald guy.
I like him. I like him. I don't like him this year though. I like I said, I don't like being lied to. I don't like the gaslighting. Just like tell us we haven't been good.
I hate shit football more than I like Ten Hag. That's it. Yeah. I watch every game and I love this team. I watch every single game and I love this team, and I'll tell you what, I don't like anybody enough to be able to watch the way we're playing every week. I don't
If
care
I was
who you
coaching
are.
that, you'd
I
be
don't
like,
care if
bro.
it's my mom coaching Manchester United. If we're playing like this, she's fired, bro. She's gone. I don't care who it is, bro. You can't play like this because I got to watch every single game and I'm losing my goddamn mind. So speaking of losing your goddamn mind, let's see what the fans have to say here. At Rolling the Deep 1995, last few minutes of injury time highlighted it. Survival football, no desire to win. They cost us Brentford and Chelsea, and it almost cost us again today. Mainu was sensational, but the ref, another shocking penalty decision, and VAR laughs on. At Brett Law Master, only comment is we have to be more disciplined in situations and cannot concede those silly, clumsy fouls in the box. Look, that's not on the manager. Like, I agree. Like, the whole, like, fouling and just blowing the games in the last minute, that ain't on tonight.
No, but the fans are great. Like, keep them coming. So we've been talking about that. These guys have great takes because they're all like everyone's got a different perspective, which is what I love about fan questions.
At Fairway Freddy, proof if it was ever a doubt that this is a cruel world, end this season and move on to the next. Maybe with a good summer, hope will return, but this team had nothing for years now, and winning the league is just a fading memory. Look, that's a tough talk, but I mean, people want to get into the details, and then you have to remember, like, oh, we need to be consistent to win things, and we're far from it. At Mike United Mets, 3 penalties conceded in 2 games, 7 points dropped from winning positions just this week. We had to close out all 3.
We'd be like 4 off. We'd be 4 off Villa, bro. If somehow we turned this week, we'd literally be like right on Villa. Instead, we're fucked.
He said if we closed at all 3, we would be 4 points off Villa in 4th with a game in hand.
Jesus. Oh, my God.
3 matches played. Game of inches, sir. He said 3 matches played versus Liverpool this season without a loss. A proper send-off for Klopp. I do love that. And at Moneyline Jesus, a great point. Maguire without the captaincy is one of the better things to happen to this team. He shows leadership without the heavy burden. Youngsters good. No real style of play. Could the FA Cup save Ten Hag's job?
I believe things go in cycles, bro. I think they're going to do the exact same thing. If we do pull it off, Dutch manager, you fire him and push up the bad football with the FA Cup win. If he wins, I still think he'd get fired. It depends. I don't know. Like, it also depends.
I'm
what
not
he's
thinking
hearing.
that far. I'm thinking to Bournemouth. I'm like thinking, can we stop Bournemouth from getting 20 shots?
And I don't think we could show up against Bournemouth, bro. I think we're going to come out flat-footed again, bro. Like, they're not going to be up for it. They never.
No, but I need to see, like, every game I'm like looking for something. I need to see something against Bournemouth, sir. But look, that's it. That's the podcast. You like the American Devils. You like our ranting and raving. Boy, this team's driving us to the brink. I need that. I need that summer break, bro.
Oh my God.
I need that summer break. Support us at Patreon, patreon.com/AmericanDevils, AmericanDevils.store, AmericanDevils.com. Give us our top 10 downloads last 7 days.
Number 1, how you doing? How you doing? Dublin, Ireland, New York, Chicago, Illinois, Philadelphia, PA, Charlotte, North Carolina, Dallas, Texas, Portland, Oregon, Melbourne, Australia, Atlanta, Georgia, and last but not least, LA, California. Appreciate all the American Devils listening week in, week out. Couldn't do without you, sir. My brother went across the pond, saw 2 games, 1 point. Could have been 0. Hey, at least last time we were there was 5-0, so we'll take a 2-2. But either way, it's never easy being a Manchester United fan.
Shout out, Max.
Thank you, buddy.
For going to the games, like representing ARD fam. Look, it could have been worse. Could have been 0 points. Sorry to my mom for saying I'd fire her if she was a manager.
Don't tell her. I'm gonna tell her. I'm calling her right after this.
It hasn't been like a month, bro. It's been a year of this. I'm like literally
You're
like
fired.
I'm like
You're
it's like
fired.
watching Manchester United is like a bad dream. It's like we need to wake up and we need to start going to work and we need to stop doing whatever we're doing right now, like, because this is just brutal. Let's go.
Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you after the Bournemouth one. Take care.
It's wonderful.